Hello, I am going to record a brief yoga flow that you can do in the mornings. I was going to do it live in the morning, but it didn't work out. So I'm going to do it tonight and then have it up here for those of you who are ahead of me time-wise anyway, so you can do it in the morning. And I might do a live still anyway, but this one will be on there so you guys can look at it and listen. So we're going to start in tabletop. So imagine as if you had just gotten up and we are just waking up for the morning. So we're going to wake up our spine by doing some cat-cows and focusing on just bringing some awareness to the breath. So we're breathing in. Breathing in as we're moving into cat. And you're wanting to move one vertebra at a time all the way up into full extension. Being gentle, since we are planning to do this during the morning, and dropping the belly down, lifting the chin as we're dropping into cow. And then doing a few of these just flowing with your breath. So the idea behind this is we're just getting the spine woken up. We are working on getting some range of motion, and this might be, if there's any places as you're going through this that feel like there's restriction, you can also move really slowly through those areas. And for me, it tends to be kind of in this low back area, so it feels really good to even pushing through the hands, making sure your hands are spread wide on the mat, and you're pushing away, tucking the chin. And then getting a nice full range of motion. We'll go through this. You can work on your own about 5 times working through this cycle as we're going through. Just bringing some movement into the spine. And then we'll come to neutral spine with your next inhalation. And what we're going to do is we're going to move a little bit side to side, however it feels good in your tabletop, waking up the hips a little bit, maybe moving front and back in whatever way feels comfortable, and maybe even moving a little bit into either cat or cow and moving side to side. Again, we're just kind of warming up the body, bringing some movement into our hips. And then we're going to do a little bit of core, but not much. So from here, you can extend right leg back. We want to keep even pressure on the hands. And then you can look up where your neck should be kind of creating a nice straight line from your leg all the way through your neck. And if this feels good for you, you can also extend the left arm up. And we're making really sure that you're pulling your belly button in and up, so that your core is nice and stable. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then we can release and switch to the other side. So we'll start by kicking the left leg back, making sure you're pushing down into your hands, keeping your shoulders and chest nice and sturdy. And then if it feels comfortable and you did it last time, lifting the right arm up. And with an exhalation, bring your hands back down. With an inhalation, let's go through a few rounds of this. So we'll do 5 breaths. So as we're breathing in, we're lifting, making sure you're also keeping the hips square. You shouldn't be cocking or lifting one way or the other. You're trying to keep your back and hips flat. And switch. So nice breath in, we're extending and lifting. And with an exhalation, we're bringing back down. So we'll go into 2. Three. Once again, making sure you're paying attention. Number 4, pulling the belly button in, pushing down through the wrists, even pressure through the hand, through the palm. keeping the neck and back nice and straight and hips sturdy. All right, last one. Okay, from here we're going to do one modification. So we'll kick right leg back, left arm back, and if it feels comfortable, we're just going to do a little bit of a sway. We're only going to do 3 of these. So we're reaching the arm out to the side. Again, we're bringing some movement into our joint spaces. And if this is uncomfortable at all on your knees, you can also put a towel under before setting up for this. Oh, I forgot. Sway to the side. And last one on this side, bringing out to the side. Okay. From there, we are going to tuck our toes, and we are going to push up into plank. So you may need to spread out a little bit, and we're gonna just go down, now Chaturanga, pushing up into Cobra. So you're wanting hands under your shoulders. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. Hands under shoulders, and we are looking down at the floor and just kind of pushing elbows tight into the sides and just doing a slight upward. And that's it. We're gonna do 3 of these. And from here, we are going to push all the way back into child's pose. So you can do knees together for this first child's pose if you want. Reaching straight forward, forehead down. If it feels good, you can roll the forehead across in front. And this once again should feel good if you get any tension in the low back, getting a nice stretch in there. You can also opt, if you want, you can also do a wide leg child's pose. So with this one, you're doing the same thing, but you're gonna sit kind of back on your bum or whatever feels comfortable. And once again, we're reaching forward at whatever that might look like for you. You might not be that far down, but if you're in full extension, you can rest the forehead, or you could even bring hands up if you need modification. Whatever is comfortable for you, or even holding yourself up. So see what feels the best for you. Getting a nice stretch. I like bringing the arms up. I don't know if I've ever seen this done in yoga, but it always feels really good to me across the back. And then from there, we'll once again come up into plank, and we are going to walk forward to our feet between our hands. And I'm going to turn and face you now. So from here, we are going to do our first sun salutation. So we're going to come rolling up vertebra by vertebra all the way up, reaching and extending up, then bringing our hands prayer center. So we're going to do a couple of these, just bringing some motion in. Nice deep breath in, and an exhale down to the chest. And we're going to do a full forward fold, so we're going to do straight back, hands in prayer, and all the way down to the feet, or wherever that may be for you. Maybe it's shins, or maybe it's just hanging. If you can, all the way down, releasing, relaxing the neck. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in and bring our hands to our shins with a straight back. And then with an exhalation, we're going to forward fold. Taking a nice deep breath in, we're going to come all the way up and folding all the way down. From here, we're going to step back once again. I'm spinning, but you don't need to, but just for camera's sake, I'm going to spin, and we're going to do the Chaturanga, and you can either let hips all the way down and do come to Cobra, or if you're comfortable, you can push yourself up into up dog. And then we're going to flex our toes, get back in the camera, and do our first down dog. So we're going to take a couple of nice deep breaths here. With this, you're wanting even pressure across all the fingers in your hands, across even in your feet, and we're gonna walk out your dog since it is morning. So that just means lifting one heel at a time, bringing some motion, some movement, stretching down the back of the legs, and then we're also still pulling the belly button in and up to support our core. And our ears, our shoulders should be pulling away from our ears, elbows pulling into each other. So this is a very active pose, even though it's kind of also a resting pose throughout yoga. Your muscles are all very much active in pulling towards each other. Our hips are pulling towards each other. Our fingers are pushing away. So our muscles are all very much in a dynamic, active state. So after a couple of breaths here, we are going to take and lift the right leg up. And we are going to gently step it between the hands. And we're going to come up into our warrior one. So arms straight up. We want this front leg to be knee over ankle. Make sure it's not over the toes or back too far. And then keeping active in the back leg as well. As you're doing this, core is pulled in and up. And then your hips, your hips are kind of rocking back, but they're also staying square forward. You don't want to be shifting one way or the other. You want to, as I throw myself off balance, you want your hips to be nice and square. So again, lift the arms up, take a nice deep breath up. And we'll bring our hands back down. We will step into plank. And from here you can go right into a down dog. Or if you want a Chaturanga, you can also come down into your Cobra or up dog and meet in downward dog. So checking in with your breath, getting circulation. We should be starting to build and create some heat within the body, which is our goal in the morning. And keep pedaling walking your dog if it feels comfortable, but we're kind of reaching towards getting the heels flat on the mat. If it feels good, come all the way up on the toes and then come back down. And just settling in. Then we're going to switch and we're going to bring the left leg high. And maybe I always like to pause for a moment. It feels really good down the right leg. And stepping through between the hands. Once again, we're checking knee over ankle as we use the strength, we use our core, we push with our legs to come up into our warrior one. Taking a moment to check in with your breath. And we're going to come back down out of it. Come back to plank and either Chaturanga or meet in down dog. So Chaturanga will be either Cobra or up dog. And then pushing into our down dog. So this time we are going to, once again, we're going to lift the right leg, step forward through our hands, and we are going to spin, and I should do the other way. I'm going to, let's see, you'll just see from the back. So we are going to spin into warrior two. So once again, knee over ankle. We are going to keep the right foot facing forward, left foot. If you draw a line from your right heel, it should go all the way to the middle of your back, your left foot. That's about where alignment is going to be. And then you're wanting the hips to be open as much as possible. So arms are going to be up. You can kind of check to make sure that your shoulders are pulled down and away. A good way is to flip the hands up and then back. And then gaze will be forward. From here, we will rest our right arm on our right front leg. We're going to bring our left arm up overhead, and if it's comfortable, you can even look up, or if it's comfortable, you can look down, whichever feels good to you. And then we're going to bring that back. Left arm down, right arm up. Making sure you're keeping the front leg at a good angle with your knee over your ankle. So we'll do this one more time.
And breathing as you're going. As we're lifting, we're breathing in. And as we're coming down, we're releasing and letting go. Alright, so from here, we will come back to warrior two. We will straighten that front leg. And we're going to be reaching. So imagine you're keeping everything straight and you're just going to reach forward and rotate down. So you can either put a thigh, calf, just not on the knee. And you want to micro bend in that knee so it's supported and even pressure on the foot. As we're looking up. And we're wanting to be